My whole point with that story is just from talking to somebody, I ran into a house. Just from talking to somebody. You know?
Tell them to bring me my money.
You don't want free game? Everybody needs free game.
Yeah. Hey, if y'all been wondering why I've been making these videos in the car and shit like that, is because my girl is currently pregnant right now, and every other day she's upset with me. So needless to say, home cooked meals is, you know what I mean, it's not something I'm experiencing right now like I'm used to. So, you know, I gotta, you feel me? McDonald's my body, you feel me? It is what it is. What's the deal? Yeah, so, right now I'm in the Toro right now. I actually just picked this car up from the guest who had it yesterday, and I'm washing it, vacuuming, just getting it ready for the guest. I actually got a guest picking it up in like an hour or something like that. So if you ain't seen my Turo videos on the whole, you know, how you get started and the whole experience or whatever, make sure you go into my channel, check them out, you feel me? Leave a like on this video. Go ahead and subscribe. Do all the activities. Let's get all the activities popping. You feel me? I'm trying to get this content out. So, you know what I mean? Fuck with your baby boy. But, yeah, this video is not about Turo. This is actually about Airbnb. It is about Airbnb. I posted the post on my Instagram about, it's like the Airbnb company actually put out like a whole message and everything like that to, about needing more hosts. Like the demand, like the COVID stuff got the demand so crazy on Airbnb. They got so many guests that they're actually reaching out to people to become hosts. That's telling you everything you need to know right now. And it's telling you everything you need to know right there, because if you was wondering about getting an Airbnb or when is a good time or if COVID is messing it up or whatever, that should tell you everything you need to know. Like, they're asking others to be hosts because they got so many guests. That's crazy. You feel me? That's crazy. So, you know what I mean? Whether you go through me, go through my course, or go through somebody else's course, or you just jump straight into it, you gotta get involved. Get involved right now. There ain't really no excuse to it, man. It's so many ways to get involved. Like, money shouldn't be an issue. Like, if your whole thing is like, man, I wanted to start doing Airbnb, but I don't got the bread, that don't matter. You feel what I'm saying? You know somebody who got the bread. So once you figure out what the hell your startup cost is, you find somebody that could put up the money. You put in the hard work, they put up the money. That's how you get a partnership. That's how you do a business partnership. Find an investor or something like that. Because that's why I want to break down all the excuses I be hearing people say. Like, number one, people say the money thing. Like, man, I don't got no money to put into it. I didn't have no money to put into it when I got started. You feel me? I went out and found the money. Number two is location. You feel me? Like, a lot of people feel like, yeah, but I'm in such and such, or I'm in this area. It don't matter, bro. No one, you don't have to do Airbnb where you live. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do it where you live. I'm in Arizona right now. My Airbnbs is in Colorado. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting Airbnbs out here, but the ones that I'm running now are in Colorado. Granted, I have a whole team that's running it for me, but there's ways to run an Airbnb without it being in the city that you live in. You know what I mean? And, you know, for those ways, I'll make further videos on exactly how you do everything like that, or you can hit me up on Instagram and DM me, or get the course. It's up to you. What's another thing people be saying? People ask a lot about like real estate license. Like, do I need my real estate license to get into Airbnb? Listen, this is one thing. A real estate license, getting your real estate license, like, all that is to be a realtor, like to sell people's houses for them. Like, that's not real estate. That's not the only way to do real estate. Like, getting your real estate license is really like overrated. I don't know why everybody's so fixated on like, well, yeah, I'm gonna go to school and get my license for what? Like, so you can sell houses? A real estate investor has nothing to do with getting your license. You don't need a license to be a real estate investor. I don't even like when people ask that question. Like, that has nothing to do with nothing. Like, you don't gotta. Yeah, I don't know. No, the answer is no. You don't need your license. As far LLC, people ask a lot of that. Like, no, you don't need your LLC either. You know what I mean? Like, it would be good to have, but I feel like we're building LLC up to be this thing that is not. It's really not that big of a deal. One, it's really not that hard to get it. And two, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, you don't need it. You know what I mean? It would be great to have, you know what I mean, taxes wise, you know what I mean, to really make your whole thing a whole corporation or whatever. There's a lot of pluses to it, but it don't stop you from doing things. You can still make money without being an LLC. You know what I mean? Like, you can make money through your own self, your own social. You are a corporation in yourself, period. And definitely get it. I'm not saying don't get it, but I feel like people just be looking for a reason to, like, not do something. Like, I'm waiting to get my LLC. Why? You know, just do it and get your LLC later. So don't let that stop. Comment if I'm forgetting things. Comment below, like, what is one of the reasons that's keeping you from getting started in the Airbnb. I think overall, I feel like the biggest one, and I had this issue before I got started too. I feel like overall the biggest one is like the fear of, like, is it gonna work, right? Like, the fear of, like, all right, well, if I get this house and I have this rent, like, am I gonna be able to make enough to cover the rent? To, you know what I mean? Like, am I gonna be losing money? What if people don't book me or whatever? And I don't really know, like, I don't know a scientific way to tell you an answer to that other than, like, you're gonna get booked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no other way I could put it. I could show you my numbers, I could tell you my experience all day or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to actually take that leap and have that confidence to see it. But every person I know that's gotten involved in working for themselves when it comes to, like, Airbnb or Turo, when you catch that first booking, it's like, it's an unbelievable feeling, right? Because it kind of just validates, like, this is gonna work. And then, you know what happens after that first one? You're just gonna keep getting them. You know what I mean? Like, you're just gonna keep getting them. Like, now it's just effortless. Like, it just happens. Because at the end of the day, people travel. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. People travel, and the number one way to become wealthy right now, I feel like, is, you know, renting things out, renting houses out, renting cars out, renting jet skis out, rent something. You know what I mean? And you're gonna have a demand. So I don't really know how to answer that other than, like, you don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, I was worried about it, and I'm good. I ain't had a month where I didn't double my rent. Like, it's just what it is. You know what I mean? So there's so many ways to really get involved in Airbnb, right? Like I talked about in a prior video, you don't have to buy the house, right? We already explained that. You don't have to buy the house. Like, you know what I mean? If you're planning on buying the house to get started, it's going to take you a little bit longer. Unless your bread is long, or, you know what I mean? But even the market for real estate right now is crazy. So, like, buying a house shouldn't be your first, you know, thought with it, right? You definitely need to be trying to do the rent-to-rent strategy, which I talked about before. You know, getting a lease somewhere and, you know, furnishing up and going from there. If you want to know more about that, check out my prior video on that. So the rent-to-rent, definitely want to go with that. But if you are not in position to even do the rent-to-rent strategy, don't feel like you can't still get started. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to still obtain a property, and, you know what I mean? Like, you can partner up on something. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a quick story. Just earlier today, I took a Uber to the airport to get this car, right? I took an Uber to the airport, and the Uber lady, she actually heard me on the phone talking about my business. I think I was talking about something with one of the houses or whatever. And she was asking me, you know, what I get into or whatever, and we started having a long conversation. It was a 30-minute ride, so we had a long conversation about Turo, and then I started telling her about, you know, how I got into Airbnb. And she was just fascinating, you know what I mean? Because her whole life, you know what I mean, she'd been, you know, finding jobs to make money. She always wanted to you know, invest and, you know, get that financial freedom. But she said herself, like, and this is an older woman, she had said herself, like, she never understood how. Like, she knew life was deeper than just working, but she never understood how. And that was deep for me because, you know, that's one of the things I really take serious is, you know what I mean, really putting people on game. It don't matter how old you is, knowledge, your age ain't got nothing to do with your knowledge or your wisdom or whatever. So if I know something that somebody else doesn't know, like, you know what I mean, I definitely want to put people on. So with me telling her, I'm just giving her free game, the whole ride all the way to the airport, I'm giving her free game. And you know what she says to me? She says she has a house here in Glendale, which is a good area in where I'm at. She has a house here, and, you know, it's still, you know, it needs some work and everything like that, but she's not using it or something. Like, point is, me and her were just chopping it up, and I might have just ran into my first Airbnb in Arizona because I know she's interested in making money, and she obviously seen my website and seen my results and know I can make money. And, you know, me and her might partner up on that. So we'll see how that goes. That'd be amazing if it does go through for me and for her. But my whole point with that story is just from talking to somebody, I ran into a house. Just from talking to somebody, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you're not in position to go buy a house, you're not in position to go rent a house or nothing like that, you could be on the internet right now hitting people up like, hey, you got a property here and a property there, or whatever. I want to start an Airbnb business, and this is what I plan on doing, da 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 and da da da. And bro, you could run into something. You know what I mean? All they can say is no. So if you're doing that consistently every week, hitting somebody up, trying to find an opportunity, you're gonna run into something. You are going to run into something. And then when you run into that something, just take off. You feel me? Take off. Like, don't drop the ball, don't fumble it. You know what I mean? Make sure everything is all your affairs is in order. So when you go get that first deal, you ready to run that rock. You know what I mean? So don't there ain't no reason that you shouldn't get involved right now, man, with this Airbnb stuff. It's just too much bread. It's way too much bread. And right now, like I said, the hotel industry is taking hits, bro. They losing money, and Airbnb is going up. So in a few years, when it's this crazy, monster of an entity, the same way Uber and Lyft is, how they killed taxis. Like right now, today, Uber and Lyft taxi. You know what I mean? It's like that. In 5 years, Airbnb is gonna be like that over hotels. And you don't want to say that you just watched it happen. You know what I mean? Like, get involved right now. Get your bread while it's popping. This is the time to get started. And I'm telling you right now. And I'm not saying that because I got a course on it. I'm not saying that because I'm involved in it. I'm just saying it straight up. You don't got to pay me for nothing. Like, you don't want to. If you want to do it on your own, do it on your own. Just do it. Just do it. The whole point of this video is all them excuses, bro. You could think of an excuse for everything in the world. Like, you could think of an excuse not to cross the street. It's dangerous, whatever. You're gonna have to cross the street. It's dangerous to do anything. Dangerous to drive. Everything is going to have some sort of fear factor involved in it. And if you psych yourself out, you psych yourself out. But while you telling yourself what you can't do, it's motherfuckers younger than you out here getting to a bag and all the same things that you're scared to do. So, you know what I mean? That's that. Like I said, check out my old videos that I already posted up. Make sure you leave some likes, some subscribes in there. You feel me? I'm trying to get my shit popping. Like and subscribe this one. Comment anything. Comment, you know what I mean? Questions, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Hit me up on Instagram. And I'm going to just keep, you know what I mean, bringing y'all content. And we're going to rock it like that. Appreciate you.